Hi, Robin. Can we get started?
Yes, so that we can start the session. I was just talking on mute. So, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Once again, welcome to AZ 300 Active Directory training. So, it's been day three. Day three, we are focusing more on the Active Directory hybrid connectivity management. How hybrid connectivity can be configured and what are the options been available. How we can able to synchronize with the Microsoft Cloud infrastructure. So, yesterday we were discussing about it. We are in a customer place. Customer is already having a on-premises DC has been available, and we have been discussing about the hierarchical difference between the on-premises ADDS and Azure AD. We understood like if you are taking a on-premises AD, we are using a concept of domain, or we are getting a lot of security features on in a on-premises DC, especially like when you take a scenario of ADDS. Group policy is one of the commonly used service on in a on-premises one. Then we understood like there are a lot of other security attributes which is also available on in a customer place or in a customer on-premises DC. Now the customer is saying like, no, I need to have some security feature which is already available and the organization needs to be implemented. For example, like if the customer is having some group policy has been configured. Now this group policy feature has been not available on in the Azure AD. For example, like the customer want all the wallpaper needs to be same, or there are some USB needs to be blocked. So similar kind of requirements if you are getting, this has been not supported on in the Azure AD. So that's the reason the customer want the existing AD needs to be available into the in the infrastructure, so the users can be able to use the same kind of setup, or whenever any user is been connecting, authentication can be done with the help of a DC. So this basically done a kind of a hybrid connectivity. Basically, it's like you are trying to integrate your on-premises DC with the Azure AD. So that is the kind of the model technically we are implementing on this infrastructure. So you will have a, there are two way you can able to see in the customer place. One, it's been like if already you have a on-premises DC is available and you have a physical server, there will be having a Cisco or a Dell or any other vendor physical server will be available. On top of that, you will be UOS is been implemented. On top of that, your identity management like IAD will be implemented as a ADDS. And the connectivity to the cloud for a security purpose, most of the time the organization will be using a concept of VPN. VPN is the concept generally we are using on in a normal scenario. There is a three mode of the VPN. Generally, you can able to see on in a Azure infrastructure. The three model generally you can able to see. Basically, it's like a P2S, S2S, and Azure Express route. So P2S is generally not using like when it is coming on in a Active Directory kind of a scenario. So because the large audience or large number of the users is going to connect from your office. So basically either you'll have a S2S, S2S stands for site to site VPN, or you will have a Azure Express route. So basically you'll have a dedicated connection from your office to Azure infrastructure. Basically they need a partner edge server for making this kind of infrastructure. So S2S and Express route, the main difference I just want to give you as an insight here. S2S all traffic is being going through the internet, but in an express route, you have a, dedicated channel will be available through that your through encrypted channel has been available. Through that, all your communication has been going from um, on premises to the cloud. That is the way the connection is being made. So our topic is not into the VPN. I just given how backend connection is been coming in case if you want to integrate. So this is the one model you can able to see. And few customer place instead of a physical server, your DC may be running on in a Hyper-V or a VMware also. So you will have a virtual machine is available. From there also you can able to see the connection has been made into a cloud. Or few other customer place, The customer may be looking for an alternate option, like they want to completely, they need to decommission the physical server. Currently, it's been available on the data center or a data room. That kind of a situation, customer may be using an alternate option. Basically, like instead of using a physical server on in the customer place, they will be using an alternate option of implementing an additional domain controller on in a Azure VM. Then they will be decommissioning the primary DC, which has been, or the physical DC is available on in the customer place. So you will have a Azure VM is been running. This Azure VM will be hosting your all your identity management, and synchronization will happen from Azure VM to cloud also. So you may be able to see any of this model in the customer place. So this can be from on in a physical, or it can be on a Hyper-V, or you can able to see it's on in a data room or a data center, or you may be able to see sometimes it's been hosted on in a existing Azure infrastructure as a VM also. So basically, like the way the customer is been having infrastructure, or they want to hold the existing identity management, they may be using any of this term. Now, this is the complete infrastructure here. Okay, now coming on into the implementation side, we have a we are trying to simulate a similar kind of a infrastructure here. So yesterday we tried, and in between there is some error message we got. Now let me give you a scenario here. We are going to implement a server here. So we'll be implementing a server here. Let's take its name. It's called orange.com. We are trying to connect to a orange.com. Then we are going to implement the server name here. So like DZ here, and we'll try today synchronization. So that is the lab. Right now we are going to do it from here. Let's try to simulate here. Let's create a server here. Yesterday we have faced some connectivity issue, and because of that, we are not in a position to configure that one. So let me go to the portal here. Let's do a AD connect. Let's go to cloud portal. Right now I don't have any resource group has been available here. Let me create a virtual network first. I'm just giving a virtual network is production virtual network. I hope you can able to see the cloud portal window here. So there is a lab currently we are doing. So let's wait. Now let's say configure a production network here. I'm just giving a name. It's called resource green is giving its orange. Now you can able to see here. Let me give a name. It's called instead of virtual network name. I'm giving it's a production. I'm creating in a North Europe. So this name is given, and this is I'm hosting on in a subnet A. Let's create it on in a subnet A and review and create it here. Now let's create it here. Now we got an answer. Oh, there is a question also on the chat. The question has been like from Jimrat has been asking like how to prevent client on-premises Korean DNS during an extended EAD in a Azure cloud. Um, we may have to configure a DNS forwarding that kind of a situation. So you need to ensure that you have configured a DNS forwarding from your on-premises DNS server into Azure Virtual Network. So where your extended EAD is being located. So this will ensure like all the DNS query which is been generating on in a on-premises client that will be forwarded into a virtual network. I hope you maybe heard about a forwarder concept out in a DNS, so you can try that. So you need to have a to configure not in a either you can able to go for a Jumrat conditional forward, or you can able to go for a normal forwarder option on in the DNS. With the help of that, all the queries can be moved into, or it's been forwarded into the on-premises server to Azure Virtual Network. And on in the Azure side, you need to deploy a DNS server, and you need to ensure that that DNS server has been resolving this one. So in the properties of the network, you need to ensure that your primary DNS server is your local server, which has been hosted. So that is the way generally you can able to configure. And in case if you have any DHCP server is been configured, so on the on-premises DHCP, ensure that your Azure DNS server is the primary option is been assigning either through a DHCP option or in a reservation option or a scope option, you can able to configure. So Jumrat, you can follow this option. I think I have some handy detail has been already up. Jumrat, you can follow this option here. So this is the step for you. So I got your point, I got your questions, and this is the step for you. You can follow these 4 steps. In case if you want to configure, you can able to configure here. So this is a step you can follow here. Let's come back to the topic here. Right now we have created a virtual network. We are going to configure on-premises ADDS here. Let's create it. Let's create a new DZ here. Let's wait a minute. Let me create it. Let me create a virtual machine here. Attach the same network. Let me create a VM here. Let me give a name is called on-prem team or DC server. On-prem DC. North Europe, I'm configuring. Let me give Windows servers everything. So the details as it is. Just giving the username and password. Attaching to the same network where you are same network I've been attached, because last time we have been faced some network issues here. So right now let's create that. So VM has been created here. Let's wait. Right now the deployment of the VM is in progress here. Let's wait. Let's wait it here. Just wait here. Right now you may be able to see the VM creation is been ready here. me a second. Let me go to the same VM here. You may be able to see. You can able to see here. So let's go to RDP. Now let me go to the server here first. Let me go to the properties here. Let's wait. Now let me connect to the server with the help of a public IP address. You can able to see its RDP session has been coming here. So let's wait it. I'm just connecting to the server. Just give me a second. This screen is came on the primary screen, so I'm just moving here. Give me a second. Giving the password and trying to connect it. It's got some error message, so let me reconnect it again. Getting the connection screen here. Let me connect it. Let's get. Server is already here. So let's install a Active Directory server here. Service here. Let me go to the server manager here. Install ADDS service. Next. Install it here. Installation of on-premises ADDS is being started here. Let's wait. Let's wait for the installation to be completed. Right now it's been completed here. Let's promote this server as a Active Directory server here. So I'm just creating this as the first server in the domain. So I'm just giving this orange.com. Next, this is the place where you are going to configure the DSRM password on the functional level. So I just given this details, like in case if I need to restore a service at any point of time, we can able to use it here. So look like some message we got it here. Let me, sorry, suddenly it's got closed. Let me reinitiate. Name is given orange.com. Let's wait few minutes for the validation to complete. Let me give this DSRM password. This option is been look like there's some validation is going on the backend. So we need to wait a minute because we are not getting option to enter it there. So we have only option to wait it here. Let's wait. So let me enter this password. So look like some validation is going on the backend. Still you can able to see the domain controller validation on in the backend. It's been progressing here. So let's wait. So this is a validation. You can able to see on the top there is a progress bar is going on. So I'm just, we are not getting an option for selecting here. So let me do one thing. Let me restart a server here, then come back. Generally it won't take much time, but let me restart it here. Let me reconnect to the server. You have given username and password, and we got the screen right away here. Let's connect it. RDP has been initiated here. Right now you can able to see on the screen, the RDP screen has been coming. So let's wait a minute, because in the top you may be able to see there is a server validation stage is in progress here. So let's connect it. Let me create a note. I'm just giving the change name is as cloudhub.com. I'm just changing the name. Not sure is it because of some code entry or something. Yes, so we are able to give the password now here. That is basically using for recovering password. I'm just given the username and password here. Right now, the installation of on-premises ADDS is in progress on the screen now. Let's wait. Let's wait for this installation to complete it here. So I given a domain name is cloudhub.com. Let's wait. Installation of ADDS is in progress here. So this is the place where your database or a log file is been created. In case if you have a dedicated disk or a space or a folder is been available, you can use that. Since I'm doing a lab here, so I don't want any separate folder for your Active Directory file. The same uh, default folder I'm going to use it. I'm just giving next, and this has been initiating the installation or the promotion of your server as a domain controller here. So we have to wait few minutes because validation and prerequisite verification is in the progress here. So we need to wait here. So system is saying like we are good with the installation, but there are some warnings we have and we need to sort it out, that some patches or IP version 6 needs to be disabled or enabled. So this kind of a general information got. There is no warning here, and there is no, because in case if there is a warning and if the system is not able to install, you will get as an error message here. But there's only warning here. So let me go for installation here. Right now the installation has been completed. System is saying like for applying this whole settings, system will need a reboot here. So automatically the reboot has been initiated here. I'm just saying like a close, the system will reboot, and it will take almost a minute time because on in the back end this needs to apply group policy and other Active Directory settings here. So let's wait for a minute. So right now the connection is been trying to connect it here. The server reboot is been completed here. Let me wait it here. Trying to connect to the same server here. Let me connect to the server here. We are able to take a RDP to that. Let's wait for server to update the group policy, everything. So right now, DC server is being installed and this Active Directory components are applying here. So let's wait. So it's been updated here. Group policy has been in a progress here, so you can able to see on the screen. Group policy still it's been applying on the DC here. So without that, without entering to the server, we won't be able to configure here. So let's wait for that to complete. Right now, it's been uploaded and system is been starting. Right now, the system is being started here. Let's wait because this has been inventory is in progress here. So we need to wait few minutes. So let me go to DNS here. Let me configure the DNS here parallelly to ensure that your DNS is being configured properly here. So let's go to the on-premises DZ here. So this is the DNS server. So look like, yes, it's been reverse lookup zone has been not configured. Let me configure reverse lookup zone also here. So we won't face any kind of issues here. So let's get 0.4. Allow both secure and update. So let me. So here also it's been configured. Okay, now let me go to the command prompt. Check my DNS has been working. Yes, it's unknown has been coming. So this is because IP version 6 is in place. Uninstall IP version 6. Local host has been coming. Okay, no problem. Let me go to the VNet property. So right now, team, what is the lab right now we have been done? So in between, we got a question on in the chat. Just a curious question, where does that on-premises DC on in the public IP address is taking a 20.23.x, as this has been not assigned as a static IP address. So this basically, the question has been related to a public IP address. Um, so this basically, I'm just trying to answer the question. It's been available on in the chat. Something related to the on-premises properties here. So the participant is asking here, why on-premises DC is taken 20.234.series, why this has been not taken as a static IP address. So you may be remembering in your Azure fundamental session. Let me take into whiteboard here. I'm not diverting from an Active Directory topic, but this is related to the Active Directory IP addressing part. So you may be remembering, like when we had a discussion about an IP address, Microsoft Azure has been supporting two mode of IP addressing. One is been like you may be remembering IP version 4 and IP version 6 also. Now, or in our college days, or in your what we can say, in your system administration time, you may be learned IP address has been again classified into class A, class B, class C. You may be remembering like the IP address has been classified as A, B, C, D, E also. This IP address has been starting. If you're taking a class A IP address, you may be remembering like this IP address has been starting from 0.0.0 to 127.255.255.255. So 2 raised to 7 or 2 raised to 24, that is the host ID. Generally, we can able to use it. And class B is been generally starting from 128.0.0.0 to 191.255.255.255. I hope all are agreeing with this one. And class C is been generally starting from 192.168. Sorry, 192.0. 192.0.0.0 to 190. It's been 223.192 already we are written to 223.255.255.255. And class D is already we are familiar. This has been starting from 224.0.0.2 239.255.255.255. And class E is been generally starting from 240.0.0.0 to 255.255.255.255. All of us are already familiar that class D and a class C is generally we are not using, because one is been using for a multicast purpose. This is using for an experimental purpose. I hope you are clear about this, right? Is it clear? Can you just put a single comment on in the chat? So when you are taking an IP address, so this is the IP address. So the question right now we got it here, it's like, why your on-premises DC has been taking a public IP address here? That is a question we have received on in the chat. There's a one. That's a very interesting question, and this is very. Uh, it's mean we need to understand also this. So I hope this portion has been clear. Now, right now we got a IP address from A to E, but all these IP addresses been generally we are not able to use in internet. You may be remembering like one of the commonly used IP address in a system is called 127. 127 IP address generally we are not able to use it. You may be remembering like a 127.0.0.1. This is generally commonly used IP address in the networking, right? Almost everyone used to do a ping command on in an office, right? Ping 127.0.0.0.1. What is the meaning of that? Can you comment it on in the chat? Why we are not using a 127 dot series here? So can you comment it on in the chat? What is the importance of a? You may be heard about something called a. This is generally known as a loopback IP address, right? The term generally we are using it's called a loopback IP address. That is a general term all of us are using on in a cloud or a on-premises one. What is the meaning of a loopback IP address? Can you comment it on the chat? Right now we understood loopback IP address is one IP address generally we are using. What is the meaning if I'm getting a reply from ping 127.0.0.0.1? What is the meaning of that? If I'm getting a reply, what is your understanding, or as a system administrator, what is your decision you're going to get? You're going to take it if you're getting a reply on this one. So co is being like it's assigned to NAZ. Okay. Okay. So in case in a customer place, if you're getting this a replay here, this is not for checking your network card functionality, because most of the time, almost everyone is having some perception, right? Right now you can able to see genuine Islam has been posted a chat on in a message on the chat. Genuine has been saying like, if you're getting a replay, we can um, take a decision that your NAC card is been working condition. No, generally you can go and check a system where you have not installed an NAC card. You have a laptop or you have a desktop where your NAC card is been not installed. There also you will get a reply. So whenever you're getting a reply from a ping, or whenever you're getting a reply from your loopback IP address, the meaning has been very simple. TCP IP protocol for that particular computer or a particular server, particular VM has been working properly. There's nothing to do with your NAC card. So I'm just giving a scenario. If you are in a project or in a customer place, customer has been giving a complaint or a concern saying that my system has been not responding. So the moment when you connected to Azure VM, and the first step all of us are generally doing like a ping 127 dot series, or it is a physical server. So the moment if you're not getting a replay, you don't need to go and change your NIC card, or you don't need to go and change your VNE, or you don't need to change the buffer rating or a buffer settings on in the NIC card property. The reason is been like TCP IP has been down here. So the TCP IP or the protocol, all of us are avail is been known here. So the TCP IP has been uh, it's been corrupted. So we need to reset that. How to do a reset? Because if you are taking a Windows 7, there is a one of the commonly um, um, getting concerns from the customer place. It's been like, in case if the TCP IP has been down, if you're not getting a reply, you don't need to go for a change in network card. Many times I've been seeing like people will be on in customer place, they will recommend for a changing a network card. That's not the right way. So generally we used to do with the help of a netsh command. So you have a netsh command is been available in case if the response is been not getting. So you can type a command on in the command prompt with something called netsh init ip reset. So in case if you're not getting a reply right now, I've been pasted the command on in the chat. So you can follow these steps. So this step is been followed on in a customer place, and with the help of that you will be able to solve this issue. So in case if you want to note down a step here, so this is the step you can able to perform. So let me type it the command here. So this is the step you can able to the step you can able to use it. You will need to just type this netsh command, and you may be able to ensure that the TCP IP has been uh, reset. Now, there are some situation, for example, like you have a another situation has been like the system is been not able to configure, or it's been like a loopback IP address been assigned. You may be heard about one more IP address is called APIPA also. So APIPA is the another set of IP address generally we are using. So you may be seeing like a class B IP address generally we are getting. So 169.254.x.x. That is the IP address generally we are getting. So what is the meaning of APIPA address? Have you heard about a APIPA IP address? Have anyone has been heard about APIPA address here? APIPA address is basically you will be getting on in a customer place. For example, like if our DHCP server has been available, but unfortunately the DHCP scope has been full, or your DHCP is not in a position to provide an IP address to a client. That kind of a situation, system will generate automatically a IP address. That's basically known as APIPA address. Noel, this is not. We cannot say that DHCP is not a work. One it's been like DHCP scope is been full. DHCP server is not having sufficient IP address pool is been available on a DHCP where from where we can able to push IP address. So that is one reason. Second one, it's been like there is some network flap or network connectivity issue has been facing. For example, like Noel has been having a client which has been configured on in another VNet or another network, and your DHCP has been configured in a other VNet. And unfortunately, there is no DHCP relay agent is been configured on your router. So because by default, all your DHCP transaction or your communication is been done in the mode of a broadcast packet. So with the help of a DORA process, generally we are getting an IP address here. So that kind of a situation, system is been generating here. So right now the question here is been like, why Active Directory server has been assigned with a public IP address? So the reason it's been like, if you're taking all these IP address, all this IP address cannot use in the internet, because there is an organization available here called IANA, Internet Then Authority. They are being globally managing IP address. They have defined a two type of IP address in IP version 4 and IP version 6. You may be heard something called a public IP address, and second one is called a private IP address. So the set of IP address which you can able to use internally and the internet. So the IP address which you can able to use in the internet, that basically known as a routable IP address. So the technical term cloud administrators are generally using, it's called a routable IP address. The IP address which you can able to use, basically known as routable IP address. You may be remembering like in your office, or the moment when you connect your laptop on your office, only one set of IP address generally we are getting, right? You may be remembering like a private IP address like 10.0.0.0 to 10.255.255.255. This is one IP address. Or you may be seeing like 172.16.0.0 to 172.31.255.255, 192.168.0.02, 192.168.255.255. So this set of IP address is a free product and is a free IP address. only this IP address only you can able to use it internally. So you don't need to pay anything for this. And but the problem here is been like this set of IP address you cannot use in a internet because this is not a routable IP address. Can you do one thing? Can you go to command prompt right away now and type a command called ipconfig? Can you type a simple exercise here? Can you just do to command prompt and type ipconfig now and paste that answer on in the chat? Can you go to a command prompt? Simply type a simple command ipconfig. Can you type this answer on in the chat? Let's do a exercise. Now, can you just do this exercise here? Now we are getting a question here. Is there any endpoint or a private endpoint is available? Yes. Endpoints and private endpoints are available in Active Directory. Yes, it's been supported here. So you have a private endpoints and service endpoints are available, Haja. Answering to Haja question, answer is yes, it's been supported. So we are getting a few answers on the chat. People have been typing IP config, and you may be able to see some pattern here. I request all the members to just put an review yourself, evaluate yourself. Is there any pattern you are seeing here? You may be able to see there are some similarity on in the IP address. You may be connected from a Bangladesh, you may be connected from a Nepal, you may be connected from India, you may be connected from Sri Lanka, you may be connected from Philippines or Indonesia or a Myanmar, but you may be able to see there is a pattern here, right? So you may be able to see, you may be getting all your laptop or is maybe getting some internal IP address here, right? So this similar either from a 10 dot or a 192 or a 172 series IP address generally you are getting here. Yes. Now, can you show me the service endpoint? Haja, that's not included today's session. We'll be discussing that's possible in the day 5. It's been not included today. So possible like I can able to give you the information if you want. I can able to give you, and if you want that information, I can able to provide you right away. But right now, I'll not be in a position to um, show you this here. So if you want, I can able to share the details how to do that. So if you want, give me a second. So let me post you this endpoints. If you want to give the step-by-step procedure, you can follow this one. So, so this is the step. Generally, we are using this. The first step, Aja, you can save it on in your note in case if you want to configure in service endpoints on in your this one. So this is the step you can follow. So Aja, you can able to copy this one. So you can able to use this one in case if you want to go for a service endpoint. For example, like if you want to configure a private endpoints, Haja, you can able to follow this step. This is the second step is for your private endpoints. You can able to use this for configuring your private points. So this is a two-step Haja. You can bookmark it. This will sort out your issue. Okay. Now let's come back to this topic here. So we have an IP config has been available. So for rest all IP address we can able to configure as a public IP address. So the public IP address is not a free product. The public IP address is a cost is involved. So when you're taking an organization, what Microsoft is done, Microsoft has been assigned a public IP address from the pool. So what Microsoft has done, they have been assigned for each region. For example, like right now you may be observed here. The moment when you created a VM on in a Microsoft East US, we got one IP address. But when you go for another country or another location, you may be able to see another public IP address has been assigned. So technically, what Microsoft has done, Micro, Microsoft has got a pool of public IP address from your internet service provider or IANA, and based on the location where you're creating your resource, from that pool, Microsoft will be assigning an IP address. So technically, end of the session, you need to understand if you configure a VM on in one region, you may be getting a 20 dot series. So the answer was, the question was on in the chat, or the discussion has been started from that point. Why Active Directory is getting a 20 dot? Why we are not getting a 10 dot, or why we are not getting a static IP address? Why we are not getting a 5 dot series or 2 dot series? The reason has been like Microsoft has been deciding what is the IP address your domain controller, or what is the IP address needs to be assigned to a resource which has been requesting for a public IP. This been completely depends upon the region. So each region, Microsoft has been configured a unique IP address. So if you configured a VM on an East US, you may be getting 20 dot series. The same VM if you're configuring on in a West US or a Australia or a Canada or a Switzerland, you may be getting another IP address. So IP address are, or public IP address are unique. You cannot change it, and you don't have an option to change it also. Second point, for example, like if you already having an on-premises network has been available on your on-premises network, you are using a public IP address, you will not have any rights, or you don't have any option to bring your own public IP address into your DC or a the resource which you are going to host it on in a on-premises. So you cannot bring your own public IP address. So there is no option for that. Second one, it's been like, as I said, you cannot move from IP address from one region to another region. For example, like you have a X IP address has been available on East to East, and due to some X or Y reason, if you're shifting your domain controller from another region, you may have to reconfigure your network. The reason is be like the public IP address right now it's been assigned on in your East to East. It's been totally different from the other IP address here. So totally it's been different. So you will have a different IP address will be available here. So IP addresses been cannot be configured, or the IP address cannot be moved from one location to another location. That's the important point you need to remember here. So you will not have any option for one location to another location. That's the important point you need to remember here. So right now you may be noticed here, your DC's got a public IP address here. So when you go back to a portal here, you have configured a DC here. So you may be able to see on premises DC. If you go to overview tab, there is a IP address has been by default has been assigned here. See 20 dot series. So the moment when you create a VM, you have a two option for assigning a public IP address. One is been like whether you create a VM or a on premises DC. At the time of the creation, you have an option for creating a public IP address. See, so you have an option for creating a new here. So one option is been like you can go to the public IP address. There is a two mode of public IP address generally we will be getting here. For example, like if you go for creating a public IP address, you can able to create static or a dynamic here. So answering to your question here, by default, if you're creating a VM, you have a question, or you have an option like configuring a public IP address in a basic or a standard. There's an option you can able to see here. Now, that kind of a situation, you have a two SKUs you can able to take it. One is a standard and another one is been a basic here. So you have a standard and a basic option is here. So here you will get an option for configuring it's in a static mode or a dynamic mode here. So you can able to configure it here. So there is a option you are getting like a dynamic, or there is an option for a static also. So by default, if there is any IP address has been assigned automatically on in the client, By default, that's been configured in a configured with a static mode here. Now, you will not have any, if in case if you want to go for a static mode, for example, like in case if you want to go for a dynamic mode, you can able to select it here. Generally, you won't be going for a dynamic mode. The reason is be like the moment when you start your resource or if you restart your resource, that particular resource will be rebooted here. So that the dynamic IP address has been always the IP address will be selected here. So that's the reason generally we are using a static. So answering to your question, by default, all the IP address, public IP address is been default is been configured. It is in a static mode only. In case if you want to change it, you have to go to the public IP address and you can able to go for that. Now, I see there is a question here. Why is that public IP address ends with a zero? No, generally you won't see any public IP address has been don't end with a zero here. But some ISP providers maybe they'll be using this concept of subnetting. So that kind of a situation you may be able to see subnet may be ending with a zero. By default, the IP address you are getting from an internet service provider won't be having any IP address has been ending with a zero. You won't be getting that. Only the subnet only it's been generated. Now, so there is another question on in the chat. Azure firewall also cannot move one subscription to another resource group, right? Yes, you are right. You cannot move directly from to another. So it's not possible to move here. Now let's take a 5 minutes break here. Now almost an hour now. So we'll take a break and we can able to. After that, we'll go for the DC configuration here. So in case if you want to engage, so uh, I'm not able to pronounce the name. So answering to why the public IP address is not zero. So this is a few answer for you. You can able to note down in case if you want to note down this answer. So this is the answer for you. So you can just copy paste here. So you will not be in a position to configure any IP addresses with a zero here. So if you want, you can able to write is not for you. So whatever I said, so you cannot configure any public IP address with a zero here. Now answering to Haja question. So Haja, you can able to write it this if you want note for why the Azure firewall is been not able to move it. So answer for your question is been I'm just putting as a lecture note on in the chat. You can able to bookmark it on in your note. Okay, so there's about the answer is been I've been posted with a well explanation lecture note on in the chat here. So if you want, you can able to bookmark it here. So let's take a 5 minutes break and come back. You can able to take a 5 minutes break. Thank you. So I hope I have answered all the questions which has been came on in the chat. I hope all are back also. So any question has been missed here, or any general questions before getting to discussion on the DC side? I think I can see, I think almost all questions which has been came on the chat has been already answered. Hajaz's question has been answered, and you don't need to send a attendance daily here. So this needs to be um, only the day one needs to be sufficient. Now let's go back to the portal here. We are discussing about how to configure a AD Connect here. So let's go back to the portal here. Right now the DC has been configured here. Now let me go back to the virtual network, and let me give this VM IP address. Let me take private IP address of your DNS here. So what is the IP address of this VM? Yes, 10.0.0.1. So let me go to a networking here, and on in the networking tab, I'm saying my DNS server is my local server only. Just typing here 10.0.0.4 here. Just give a save. So right now I'm configured as a local server here. Now I need to reboot this server here, because once the changes has been made, we need to restart the server also. Let's restart the server here. I just restarted the server here. Let's go to, that's the VM is being restarted here. So let's wait. So let me reconnect to the server here again. So let me reconnect to the same server, DC server. Server has been ready here. So RDP session is been in progress now. You can able to see on the screen. So you can able to go for this screen here. You are right, Jason. If you already filled this attendance, you don't need to fill it. You're right. Jason's already shared a YouTube link and this one. Thank you, Jason, for that. Now, right now the DC has been ready here. So next lab we are trying to do here, it's been like we are going to configure a AD Connect server here. This one. Let me create one more VM here. I'm just mentioning this server name is been AD Connect. So I'm just using the same network. I'm just given AD Connect and assign to the same location. Attached to the same network. Yesterday we were facing issue because it both were on a different network, and that's the reason we are not able to configure here. So verification failed. Look like some information has been wrong. Yes, look like the password confirmation has been went wrong here. So let me review and create a validation here. Let's wait a minute. Validation is in progress now. So let's wait. So deployment of the server is in progress here. Right now, the deployment of the AD Connect server is in progress here. Let's wait. So deployment is completed here. So let me connect to this server here. Let me connect to this server here now. So let me connect to the AD Connect server. You can able to see I'm connected as server here. So right now on the screen, you may be able to see we are connecting to the server here. Right now, let's wait for this. Now, right now, let's go back to the whiteboard here. What exactly we are doing on in the system here. Let's try to understand what is the lab we are simulating here. Right now, you may be able to see here. We have a server is been ready here. That was the name we are given is cloudhub.com. So this is the server is been ready here. And we are given is a name as a on-prem DC here. And you have another server right now we have been configured and we are given name is a AD Connect. Right now we have taken a remote desktop of both the servers. And next step, what we are trying to do here is we are going to create a couple of user account here. This we are going to synchronize with a cloud. That is the lab. Right now we are going to do it here. For doing this one, we need to install a software here that's called AD Connect software. MSI file needs to be installed here. Before that, this server needs to be added part of this domain. We need to mention, we need to talk to a DC saying that, hey DC, I'm adding a member server here. This needs to be added as a member server part of your domain. That is the lab. Right away we are going to do it here. So I'm trying to connect to AD Connect here and adding this, my second server has been part of your domain. So right now you can able to see this has been connected to AD Connect here. Let me check the connectivity to my DC first, because yesterday while doing a lab, we have faced some connectivity issue. Right now, you can able to see connectivity to a DC has been perfect. I'm able to ping it because both is being configured on in the same network. Let me go to the properties here on my computer and properties, and let me add is been part of your domain here. So I'm just going to my computer here. Let's wait a minute. So let's wait. Let's go to, let me connect to cloudhub.com. Still getting some error message here. Let me go back to the DC server here. Let me find out what is the domain name you have been provided here. Localhost, this is the server name. Let me do one thing. Let me go to ncpa.cpl here. Let me do some workaround solutions here. So let's, instead of this, let me give this a server name here. Give me a second. So I'm just given a IP address here. Some workaround solution is been given because I'm not able to add it here. So this got some disconnection of my server here. Look like some connectivity issue we are facing. Let's wait a minute here. Let's wait a minute here. So let's wait. Let me do one thing. Let me look like there is some connectivity issue we are facing. So I'm just doing some another workaround solution here for deploying a bastion service here. So because we are not able to connect it here, so let's do a simple technique here. So let's deploy a bastion service. Give me a second because RDP has been not working here. So I'm just putting a bastion service here and connecting to the server. Let's wait a minute. These all are operational related issues generally we are going to face in the prom. Let's wait. Give me a second. So just installing it. So let's wait. Bastion has been deploying here since not able to. Let's wait a minute. We are Bastion is in progress here because we are not able to connect it. So we have to go for any details here. So right now the Bastion service is in progress here. So team, few people may be thinking like, what is a Bastion service? Basically, using for a connectivity. You may be remembering like in your office, you may be using a gem server or a gateway server. This is a Bastion is a past product that is a replacement for your gem server or a gateway server. So that service right now it's been installed because RDP has been not working. So rather than going and troubleshooting this one, I just used a workaround solution here. So let's wait. So right now the deployment is not. So right now you can able to see the Bastion service. It's been progress. So right now the Bastion service is in progress here. So it's been taking a time cube. So let's wait. Generally, this will take 5 minutes. Generally, this is because there is a lot of backend activities generally happening. Like at the moment when you installing a bastion service, technically this used to create a subnet and used to attach with a VNet. So that's the reason it's been taking a time. You may be able to see on in your notification area also. There is a couple of action has been happening on the side, which case is applicable in the bastion connection. Co has been asking a question. In which case we need to go for this one. So I'm just giving a scenario here. Anyway, this has been progress yet. So I'll add this point for you or the team here. You are working for an organization. I'm just giving a scenario here. I hope you are able to hear me. Yeah. So you are working for an organization where you have a 5,000 or a more than 1,000 VM has been hosted. So you may be able to see here, you have a couple of VM has been configured here. A couple of VM has been configured. By default, all of us is already familiar that any VM has been configured on in your organization, you have a public IP address and you have a private IP address also. I'm just giving a scenario here. You have a situation like you have only private IP address has been available. So the only option which is we needs to connect to a server is been like in your organization, you need to have a gem server or a gateway server is been configured. So only the gem server or a gateway server is been configured with a public IP address. So the public IP address is only assigned to a gem server, and in another hand, you have a private IP address. With the help of that, it's been connected to a server here. So that is the way it's been connecting. Now, you may be noticing here, in case if you want to configure a server here, you are implementing a ISAS VM on in the perimeter network. So the management of all this server, for example, like configuration of operating system, patching, installation of the server, all is been responsibility of core here. Now, for avoiding this one, you are asking, for example, like you have a, you will have a team who has been completely on into a, you have a development team. They are not responsible for ISAS VM. That kind of a situation, you can able to go for a PaaS solution. So PaaS will only providing a public IP address and you will have a private IP address. So all the OS management, it's been completely managed by the cloud service provider itself. Now, Haja, agreeing with your point, yes, Bastion will have a public IP address and you have a dedicated subnet also it's been required. But Haja, in another side, Haja is been working for an organization where you have a 5,000 VMs are available. Rather than giving an IP address, public IP address to 5,000 VM and doing a network compromise, organization will go for a bastion service. So because you need to pay only for a one public IP address, so organization will prefer for this one. Now, Ko is asking what about a natting? So Ko, I'm saying here, bastion is one solution. I'm not saying like you need to go for a bastion service. I'm just giving a scenario like in case you have a load balancer has been available in your organization, or if there is a firewall has been configured in your organization, you can able to configure a natting and you can able to do. It's not preventing the, you can go for a natting also an option. In case if you have a load balancer or a firewall has been available, you can go for that. Clear? One to many. This basically public IP address to private mode we are using. So public IP address to private mode we are using. So there is a mode generally we can able to use it. So public IP address to private IP address mode we can able to use for this. So any questions? Okay, so far out one machine can connect to multiple VM. Uh, Haja, connecting to your questions, one bastion can connect to many VM or on in the same subnet. So if it has been assigned to one VNet, all the VM which has been part of that VNet, all the VM will be able to connect to that. So that's the way this has been configured. Now let's go back to the portal here. The installation right now it's been completed here. So let me go back to the server here. So I'm just connecting to a server here. I'm just giving, because we were not able to connect to the AD connect. Now I have a bastion is in place. I'm just giving password here. So browser based connecting pop-up is been coming here. Let me allow a pop-up. Let me go to a DC also. DC server also has been available here. Haja, you may be able to see here. The same browser it's been connecting here. So right now AD connect server is connected but getting some error message. Let's wait. So right now I've been connected to AD connect server here and trying to connect to the domain. Getting some error message here. So I'm just trying to sort out that. This is a rare issue. Generally we are seeing on in the customer place. I'm just trying to see here. Let's wait a minute. So there's been some connection issues been facing here. This is an odd issue we have been seeing on in AD Connect because we never face this kind of issues here. So because AD Connect installation or adding to a domain is very easy procedure, but not sure whether there is some error messages been coming here. Let's wait a few minutes here. Let me reconnect it. Let's wait a minute. Let's wait a minute. Look like it's been coming here, loading here. So let's wait. So look like some issues. Server is not accepting our request. That's the problem right now we are facing. This is an odd issue we are facing on in AD Connect because never we face this kind of issues here. No, TC has been like it has been using a HTTP or a HTTPS protocol, so you don't need to have a RDP protocol. Bastion has been completely working with the help of HTTP and HTTPS protocol. RDP has been not used by Bastion service. RDP has been not used Bastion on in the background because RDP is already disconnected here. It's not because of that. TC diagram has been shared something. Yes, it's basically 443 and ET is the protocol TCV because protocol is. This look like some odd issues here. So I'm just trying to see why we are not able to get it here. Let me connect to on-premise DC also. So some odd issue or something on in the back end it's been blocking here. Because yesterday after our lab have been created, it was working. But when we initiated now, this has been some issues been coming. So on-premises DC seems we are able to connect it here. So let me see here. There's something like DC also is not connecting here. Let's wait here. Let me try for a normal RTP, whether we are able to connect or not. This is a strange issue. Because we never face this kind of issues so during the labs, even the production also. Something is blocking on in the port. So trying to initiate the RDP also, that also is not working. Let me go back to virtual network and let me manually give on the interface also. Let's wait. Giving some additional workaround solution to sort out this issue. Hope this will sort out. Let me go to DC on premises DC. We are done. Let me go to additional DC also. some additional workaround solutions we are trying to push it here. TC, it's me not, DC also is me not connecting here. That's the problem right away we have here. So let's wait. So it's just trying to sort it out. These are the all unexpected technical issues. Let me reboot one by one because this was a working service. I'm not sure where this technical issue has been. So right now you can able to see. So on-premises DC is being restarted. Let me restart this server as well. So right now we have been rebooting both the server to avoid this issue. Now let's connect to AD Connect server. I hope this server will be back. Let's connect to the Bastion service. Let me give the username and password here. Trying to connect using a HTTP protocol. Yes, right now we are able to connect it. Issue has been look like it's been solved now. So this is a workaround solution has been working here. Let me go and add this part of a domain here. Right now, let me go to my computer. Let me add the server has been part of the domain here. Adding to server is the next first issue has been solved, connectivity. Now, right on the second issue has been like we are not able to add it here. Let me go for, let me go to the server here first. So we are trying to connect to DC now here. So DC also has been able to connect it now. You can able to see here. So TC answering to your question, DC server has been up now. Let's go to domain here. Let's check what is the domain name it's been taken. Cloudhub.com. Okay, that's the name we are given. And let me go to command prompt as well. On-prem dot cloudhub.com. So by default, by mistake, we are instead of a com, we are given as a con. That is the another issue we are facing. So maybe that is the reason the system has been getting some issue here. Instead of com, I given is con. See, that was the typo error happened. So that the reason system is not able to connect. Right now, you can able to see we are able to connect it here. So there is a uh, error message or there's a clerical mistake happen while giving a domain name. So that the reason system is asking who is this cloudhub.com. So this was a cloudhub.com. This was a clerical mistake. So right now I've been given this one. Right now we've been added into cloudhub.com. Give it okay. Let's restart here. So team, is there any echo issue? Okay, so let's manage this one because today we are ending session an hour early today, and tomorrow and after tomorrow we'll have uh, sessions on Active Directory on a conditional access, discussing about a privilege identity management. So today we'll be concluding in another 5 to 10 minutes. So, so team, right now, 2 actions we have been performed. Yes, there is an echo I can also feel on in my secondary system. I hope this has been manageable one, right? Rather than another another 5 minutes reconfiguring. So is it manageable? Daryl is saying like it's been manageable. Can you just confirm, is it manageable? If it is not manageable, I may have to just reset it again. Not sure suddenly this has been key. Okay, thank you. Thank you for confirming. Yeah. So right now you can able to see while doing an hybrid connectivity, some unexpected technical issues we have faced, so that we've been solved with the help of a Bastion service. Bastion, with the help of a Bastion, um, we can able to see here. So, but with the help of a with the help of a with the help of a Bastion service, I can able to with the help of a Bastion service, I can able to connect to this server here. Right now, you can able to see we have implemented an additional server here with the help of a Bastion service. I have been connected to that AD Connect server. So AD Connect is the name I have been provided. Now, right now, what we are trying to do here is we are going to install a AD Connect software here with the help of a AD Connect software. With the help of AD Connect software, you can able to install an AD Connect solutions here. So right now, I'm just restarting this computer here. After we restart, we are going to implement a AD Connect software here. Let's wait. This has been restarting. This will take hardly a minute time. Right now, you can able to see this has been restarted. Let me reconnect it here. Yes, right now it's been server has been back online. Yes. Now for installing an AD Connect software, this software you need to download it from an internet. Now, in case if you want to synchronize your on-premises and cloud, you need to download this software from internet. You need to go to a internet and download a software called AD Connect from the Microsoft portal. You need to download this one. So just add all this. I'm just giving AD Connect. So AD Connect is the MSI file we need to download. So just give AD Connect download. There's some warnings we are getting. Is there any? Some customization option is getting. Let me reconnect it. You can go to Microsoft site here. There's a download center. From the download center, you will be able to download here. I'm just click on the download here. So right now, download is been initiated. Let's wait a minute here. You may be able to see the download file will be saving here. Let's wait a minute. Thank you for downloading Microsoft Connect. So let's wait. So automatically this will download in case if it is not available. So you have option to download from the link also. Let's wait. Already we have been initiated. Let's wait a minute. Look like it's been auto download has been not started here. So let me click it once again. Let me save this file on the desktop. I'm just saving this AD Connect file on in the package on in the desktop. Let's wait for this one. Yes, right now the AD Connect software has been ready here. Now for doing this lab, let's go and create a few user account on in a on-premises DC. So let's wait a on-premises DC here. Let's go to the on-premises DC. I'm going to create some user account there. Let me connect to the server here. I think on-premises DC is already been connected here. Let me create a few user account here. So let's connect it here. A few user account. Right now I'm just creating a user account. Let me create a user account called Ronaldo here. Or let me create Messi. Messi is the user account I'm creating here. Messi is the user account I'm just creating here. So let's create a Messi. Next. Let's wait. Let's create it here. So right now on in your screen, you may be able to see we have created a user account on in a on-premises one, and the user name is been it's Messi here, right? Right now you can able to see Messi is the user account. It's been created here. Let me create one more user account. Let me create another user account called Surag. I'm just creating a user account called Surag here. So I'm just creating Surag is the user account that has been created, and it's been created on in on premises here. I just given the password here. Strong password is being given for our friend Surag here. Yes. Next. Given. Now, can you comment it on in the chat? Where is this user account is been created? Is it on an Azure or is it on in a um, on-premises DC? Haja, apple.com has been not given because initially we started thinking of creating with the apple.com. Then while creating a domain instead of a apple.com, we are given it's a cloudhub.com because the reason was like uh, every time we are using example of apple.com, few people has been saying like, hey, it's been boring now. Let's give another domain name. So I thought of going a cloudhub.com. You have been used the cloudhub.com is the domain name. This time is instead of apple.com. So right now the user account has been created on in a on-premises one. Now let me go back to the cloud portal here. I just connected to a portal.azure.com, selecting Azure Active Directory here. Now inside Azure Active Directory, have been selected an option called directory. Inside a directory, I went inside an option called users. Now inside a user account, we are not able to see the user account Messi and the user account called Surag also. Can you comment it on in the chat? Why this user information is been not showing here? What is your understanding from this lesson? Why this user account is been not showing here? Because the user account is currently it's been created or in the on-premises one. So right now we are going to do a exercise here. I'm just connecting to only to whiteboard because user identity information is being not synced here. So technically you have a on-premises DCs in place. We have a user account Messi. We have a user account called Surak. You have a cloud easier. So the cloud, it's been not synchronized. Right now, how we are going to sync it? Because you cannot install AD Connect package here. How this is being generally done? This is being done on in a member server. So for doing this one, member server is been ready here. What is the operating system currently we have used? We have used Windows Server 2012 or the latest version. So for this exercise, we have taken 29. But when you go back to your project or in your customer places, minimum you need to have a 2012 operating system. So you have a AD Connect is been installed here. So I'm going to install a AD Connect here. Now, while installing AD Connect, I'm trying to push or I'm trying to get all this identity information from here. This has been pushing to your cloud or in a simple terminology or in a technical word or in a cloud word, we are going to use a terminology called synchronization. That may be the right word. So when you are getting to your projects or in a code, you can able to use like instead of a push or a pull or a lift, all these things, you may have to use a word called synchronization. Let's go and see how this is being done. Let me go back to the portal here. So let's go to the screen here. Let's connect on in the portal here. Let's go to the portal here and give a second here. So let me connect to the AD Connect server. Give me a second. Now let me connect to the AD Connect server here. Let me run the server. So right now we got a question on in the chat. What will happen if there is a same user name is being configured on in both the side? So if you're using AD Connect to synchronize users between on-premises and Active Directory, If the same user has been exist on in both the directories, what generally will happen, AD Connect will try to do a comparison. It will try to attempt a matching based on some attributes, like you maybe heard about a something called a user principal name, or it will vary based on an email address. In case if your AD Connect software, they found some matching, if there is a attribute is been matching, it will synchronize with your Azure Active Directory object. If there is a conflict is been coming between a values or the object IDs or attribute value, then your on-premises user object will take a precedence and it will override all the value which has been available on in a Azure AD. So that has been very rare case, only such kind of things will happen. So in case if you are doing, your on-premises will take a priority. There will be a sync error. Can we sync OU with a cloud? With or yes, Sumedha, we have an option for doing that. Instead of pushing all your identity from AD Connect to here, you have an option for a customizing also. For example, like you need to sync only a particular user from a particular OU, or a particular user only we need to do it. You have option is been do. It's been able to on into the cloud. Now we are getting another question from a Braden. What will happen if a user has been created on in a Azure? Is there any type of a synchronization to on-prem? Brandon, no, there is no reverse synchronization is here. Only from a on-premises to cloud only will happen. There is no reverse synchronization. That topic is generally known as reverse synchronization. Is been not here. We'll see here. So we'll create a user account and we'll see practically here whether this is been supported or not here. Brandon, I'll show your question here, and Sumedha, for your question also, I'll show you that. Kenneth saying something like there is a synchronization error. Kenneth, if you can share that uh, error message, I may be able to see it here. So generally, Eric, generally it will take a 30 minutes time for a synchronization, depends upon the size of your identity management or identity solutions here. So let me install a AD Connect here. Right now you can able to see AD Connect is being started here. Let me go to the AD Connect option here. So there is an option of express settings or a customize. So Sumit, answering to your question here, that kind of a OU based customization generally we are doing here. So possible tomorrow I'll take you into that option, how we can able to do a OU based one. Today let's do it for a express settings here. So I'm just going a simple installation today here today. I'm just selecting an express settings here. You can able to see the express setting option is being enabled here. Now, right now it's saying here, hey, good morning, admin. You are trying to connect to a Azure AD. Tell me what is the account credential you have. Provide me a global admin so I can able to connect to a cloud. So I need to use some account which got a global admin power. Right now you see the AD Connect software has been one side, it's been trying to connect with a cloud AD, and another side, it's been trying to connect with your normal ADDA. So it's asking, please provide me the username. Please provide me the global admin name so I can able to connect it. So let me go to the portal here. So I'm trying to connect with a account which got a global admin here. I think I have a Robin account is available here. I think he's a part of a global admin. Let me do one thing. Let me give a admin permission also in case if it is not the, so this won't create any unnecessary issues here. Let me go to the properties here. Let me give a, is already an admin here. I forgot his password. So let me do one thing. Let me go to overview here. Let me reset his password. I forgot his password. So reset Robin password here. So temporary password has been this. No problem. This may get some error message. What is the user account he is having? Is the error message is having. So this may get some error message that we may have to reset the password. Let's see here. Because unable to validate because Robin want to log in again and reset. Sorry, there is a network trap happen. I hope I'm audible. I'm just been team has been got disconnected. I hope I'm audible. Can you just confirm?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. This team is got.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No worries.
I'm just yeah dropped from a Teams channel. I'm just got a message saying that your call is dropped. So I'm just reconnecting you. Thank you. So there is a message on in the chat. Haja is saying like on premises AD users we cannot remove it from Azure AD. Yes, that depends upon Haja. What is the type of synchronization mechanism you are using? Basically, there is a two concept is been we'll be discussing tomorrow. Something called a PHS and PTS. Tomorrow we'll be discussing about something called a PHS and PTS. So that time we'll be discussing that how this is been practically is been done on in a customer place. So let's wait for this. I'm just rejoining on in my second device also. Give me a second. I'll show you that tomorrow how this can be removed. Let's wait a let's join tomorrow and see that how this has been possible here. Yes, Brandon, this has been possible for resetting on in a both the sides. You can able to reset on in a cloud as well as you have option to reset on in on premises also. In very few second, this will be replicated. That there is a two mechanism is been available. Depends upon how AD connect is been configured. All it's been based on that. So right now, let me go back to the portal here. So I hope you can able to see my screen here. Give me a second. There will not be any complication, Jason. Like in case if you're going for that, there will not be any complication for that. This is basically like if the customer is looking for a security attributes, only in that kind of a situation, we'll be using this one. So there will not be any complication for any attributes or any kind of issues here. So let me share the screen here. Give me a second. So right now you can able to see on the screen. Surya, if you can help me to promote my secondary ID because it's been not showing an option for sharing.
Should be available now.
Yeah, thank you for that. So let me go back to the portal here right away. I hope you can able to see the screen. Okay. Yes, right now you may be able to see now. So let me log in with the Robin account here. Let me sign out. So let me log in with the user account Robin here. You can able to use it. This has been loading here. So This is waiting for the login prompt here. So if it is ready, I'll take Robin user account. I hope you can able to see the screen here. So am I not audible? I was just speaking, and I hope it's been able to see the screen, everything. So right now I've been shared a portal.azure.com, and it's been shared here. You may be able to see a screen like a portal.azure.com and signing to page. Suraj, it's been not seeing here, or is there any issue?
I'm able to see the screen actually. So
So few comments on the chat lost again. So you may be able to see a portal.azure.com. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, great. So look like there's some fun. Anyway, let me reconnect to this portal here and let's do a installation. So right now we are inside a AD Connect page and we are trying to do a installation and we got some error message here. So we are going to use some user account which got global admin power. So that is the lab right away we are doing. So connecting to a portal now. Let's give the username and password. I'm just giving some username and password here on premises portal. Given the username here on it, the cloud, it's been again I need to log in because system has been asking the username again. Let me enter the password here. We are connecting to the portal now here. this user information. Yes, Robin is the user account. So we are connecting to the, so right now you can able to see it's been loading here. Let's wait. This is the service principal name. Let me copy. Let me connect it here. Let me paste it here. Robin is the name given. Let me go to AD connect also. There also let me give this details here. Robin. Okay. Password. Let me type it. Let me reset the password here. Reset the password because I forgot the password. So let me reset. So given reset. So this is the new password. Let me connect with that password here. I'm just given next here. Now let me go to AD connect here. Here I'm giving my new password of Robin. Just given new password. Given next. Now AD Connect software has been trying to connect to Microsoft Cloud now. You can able to see this has been validated the credential here. Now this is asking like, hey admin, I've been connected to cloud now. Can we connect to the existing ADDS here? Tell me the username and password of a user who got enterprise admin here. So this is right now this one side, this has been connected to a cloud where we are going to push your identity. Left side, we are trying to connect with the on-premises one. So we need to connect to cloudhub.com. So the user account who got enterprise admin here. So I was using an user code TRG admin. I am using that password here. So this is trying to connect to a on-premises ADDS where your domain is being configured. Right now on the screen, we are getting a message. Hey admin, I understood you are trying to connect with a cloudhub.com and this is a domain has been available here. So do you want to sync your details here? I'm saying yes, I need to connect to the server and I need to synchronize all the user account. So now we got a couple of a question here in case if I need to sync only a particular OU, I'll show you that how generally it's been done. So right now I'm just giving synchronization option. So I'm just going with a default one. Okay, there are many other options these settings are available that we'll be discussing after this session. So right now I'm just doing a simple synchronization mechanism here, saying that just connect it here. Let's wait. Now the synchronization is being started. Generally it will take depends upon the size of your file. So let's wait for that. Let's wait for the synchronization to complete. Installation is in progress here. Let's wait. Let's wait. Synchronization is in progress here. Synchronization from my on-premises server to here is in progress now. So all the identity management or all the solution is been copying here now. So let's wait. So Kenneth is asking like, is there any option to do a delta sync? Yes. Yes, Kenneth, we generally used to do the delta sync. So if you want to do that, you need to go to the AD connect option. There will be an option generally we'll get something called connectors. So there you will be get an option for delta synchronization. So you have an option for doing a delta sync. So if you want, I can able to give you some steps related to that. Give me a second. Let me type it here. Just give me a second. If Kenneth, if you want to copy this one, yes, Kenneth, you can able to follow this step. So this is the step generally we used to do for a delta sync. You can copy this one and this will allow. Now ADFS in which situation in case if you want to like in case if you have some legacy application if you're using and if you want to sync that kind of a situation you can able to use ADFS. So ADFS is basically federation service. If you have a two domain or two entities been available, that kind of a situation generally we are using. So there are multiple cases you can able to see it in a custom place. I'm just pasting a few scenarios. You can able to use this one. I'm just pasting a few, some 3-4 scenarios. Generally, you can able to use it. This information just taking from my work note. Just give me a second. Let me post it 4 scenarios. Okay, you can able to refer this one. These are the few scenarios we are doing. Okay, is asked like which scenario. This is the few scenarios we can say. So I'm just pasting 3 scenarios which I have faced in past. You can able to see it on in the chat. Let me see how to reply to that directly. Just give me a second. I'm not seeing an option direct reply to Ken. KN K. So this is the reply for you. Okay. So these are the few 3 scenarios which I've been used in the past. I just check out from my work note. This you can able to use it here. Okay. Now right now you can able to see the synchronization on in our lab. It's got completed here. So let me go back to the cloud portal now. You may be able to see here. Let me go to the directory here. Let me type a command called directory. Azure Active Directory here. In the Azure Active Directory, let's go to user account. Let's see whether the Mezi or a Swirag account is been moved here. Let's go to the directory here. Azure Active Directory, I'm just been selected. It's been loading here. Right now on the screen, you may be able to see Messi, the user account which has been created on in the on premises got synchronized here, right? You can able to see this user account where this has been created. Messi is the user account who has been created in the on premises one. You may be able to see Surag account also has been got created here, right? Other on premises account that was been done in the past, okay, because I had another server also in the past, some synchronization have been done, so that information is been showing here. Right now on the screen, you may be able to see the user account which has been created on in your on premises Messi and user account Surag. These are the few user account we've been created in a on premises that got synchronized here. So what is the technically Messi and Surag and whoever is been created on premises, they will be able to start using your cloud portal now. They can able to log into the server with this account. So the moment Messi has been trying to use it here, for example, like Messi, if this is a user account, what is the Messi's account here? Let me, Messi has been trying to connect it here. He can able to use the same username and password, which has been currently available on it on premises. The same username and password, Messi can go to a cloud portal and he can able to give you. For example, like Messi has been trying to access here. Let me let me go to the portal.azure.com here. Let me give Messi's user ID here. Let me connect to the portal.azure.com here. We are giving user account Messi here. Give me a second. I just system is got hang. Just wait. Give me a second. Messi's user account we are giving here. Right now I given Messi is the user account. He's been trying to connect it here. So Messi's details is being given. Messi has been trying to access here. Let me give his password which has been created on in the on premises. So this password has been not created here. Password has been created in the on premises one. So Messi has been trying to connect it with the account. Messi has been logged in here. Right now Messi has been able to use, customer can able to, customer has been able to log into a complete solution here. So like it's able to use it a portal here. Let's wait. So maybe later. So right now Messi has been not able to create it here. So basically like if you are taking a scenario here, Messi has been logged in with his username and password, and with the help of that, you can able to log in here. Since I didn't configure any role-based access control for Messi, that's the reason we are not able to configure it here, or he is not able to use any of the resource here. Now, Haja, connecting to your question, it's basically AD connect. With the help of AD connect, you have to do a synchronization and you need to go for a decommissioning. That is a one option. Or you may have to use a VM on in Azure, and that needs to be promoted as a additional domain controller, and you need to seize all the roles into Azure VM ADDS and you can decommission that. These are the two options generally we are using. I'm just pausing here for your questions. We're supposed to end the session an hour early. No, there is no concept of OU concept, a TC on in a cloud. This has been completely removed. So there is no concept of a OU here. So because if you're taking on-premises one, all of us are remembering like for a better administration, we used to have a OU kind of a concept here. But there is no OU concept or organizational concept in AD here. So you're not able to see any organization OU here. So this basically use a flat structure here. So all it's been configured into a single hierarchy here. So there is no OU concept here. So there is no OU concept here on in the. So generally there's another questions which we are able to see here. Uh, if if the user is been making some changes on this one, that depends upon what is the type of the service you've been used. So if your question is been related to an ED, so basically like if you made a configuration change or AD, generally the 30 minutes is the maximum generally we are taking. So generally a synchronization will then happen in very few seconds, but the maximum time deprecation will by default it's been configured in a 30 minutes. By default, AD connect configured on the synchronization is generally taking 30 minutes. 30 minutes is the normally. How about the resource group in Azure? Is it like a OU? Um, we can say this is a kind of a container kind of a option TZ here, but not we cannot compare this with an OU, because if you're taking OU, you may be TC, you may be remembering like OU is basically we used to use for a lot of a group policy kind of a permission here, right? But similar kind of a structure is been hierarchical structure we are getting with the help of a resource group, but we cannot say this similar like or it's been same as OU. So so that is another point. So you may be using this for configuring administration center, but we cannot say this will not. So there is another question: is what is the cutover process from on-premises AD here? So that depends upon the migration or migrating of your user account or group hijab. It's basically like a planning and preparation, or configuration is another term, because configuration also is being required creating a tenant and configuring the existing one, and the other cutover is been like basically like a user migration. So these all are the few cutover process generally it's been involved, and basically group and computer object migrations, all this are the verification and the testing. These are the cutover process generally we are taking. Can Azure AD fully replace a on-premises one considering the application? Uh, Darren, we cannot say that. We cannot say it's been a complete replacement. I don't think so. It's been possible. No, because if the customer has been having a group policy kind of option, um, practically this has been not possible, because group policy there are many features has been not supported here. We can able to replace, but I cannot say it's been completely from my practical experience. Even though if it's a cloud-based identity, I won't say in a books and all you may say like it's completely replacement, but practically when it's going for a customer specific requirement, right now I cannot say it's not a mature one. So so that is not the we can say in theoretically we can say yes possible, but practically from my experience, no, it's not possible. Now we have been able to see an option like uh, Braden is asking a different question here. If the customer is having a file server or a print server, what is the option is been available? So there is an option available, something called Azure File Server. So Azure Server has been a completely, it's a replacement of your file server, which will support on-premises file server synchronization and cloud-based also. So Azure File Server is a one option. Or you can able to use an Azure VM that can host a file and print server. Now for a print service, you can able to use Azure print service. You have an option for a Azure print service also, which is will provide you a cloud-based printer solution. So that can be accessed from any device or a location. So Azure print service or Azure file server. These are the option is being available, Braden, for your questions. So you can able to use that solution. Clear, Brandon? So thank you, team. I think we are on time today. So tomorrow and after tomorrow we'll move more on into the Azure policy, and we'll be discussing about topic about conditional access. We'll be discussing about a topic about blueprints, other governance side which has been available on in a Active Directory. Also, there's a topic has been coming. So there is another question has been coming on in the chat. How to join a server in a Azure AD domain? So this basically like you can able to go to a server manager on the local server option. You can able to change it as it is. So you can just go to a option of change settings, and from there you can able to select a domain option there. So how you are done on in the on-site scenario, but here your domain.on.microsoft.com that needs to be provided here. So the step you can able to use it here. In case if you want to use, you can able to use the step. So this is the few steps you can able to follow here. DC, this is a few steps. So answering to your question, you can just bookmark this question. With the help of this, you can able to do it here. Yes, there is another question I can able to see on in a chat. Anthony has been asking a different question here about can we import Active Directory group policy that from a ADDS and into ADDS? Yes, there is a possibility is we have. You maybe heard about a product called Microsoft Intune, right? Have you heard about a product called Intune? And there is a lot of migration third-party tool also it's been available. So with the help of that, you may be able to do this one. So Microsoft Intune, or if there is a third-party tool are available, with the help of that, and then you can able to do that. Migration, let me see, Jason, if possible, I'll try to do cover that in a day 5. Let's see how time permits us for to do that, or we'll plan for a separate migration sessions, 2 hour sessions on a migration also. So thank you, team. Surya, we also ending. I had also had a hospital case and was supposed to end 1 hour early, but and due to while doing a lab, we faced some unexpected issue. That's the reasons we got extended. So thank you, team. Let's connect tomorrow with a new topic on an AD conditional access, and AD Connect also. We have few options. We'll be discussing synchronization, different options like a PHS or a PTS, and let's discuss tomorrow. Over to you, Surak.
Thank you, Robin, for the day 3 of training, and I hope you guys have enjoyed to be in the session for the day 3, and I hope you'll be joining the rest of the days as well. Please make sure you remember it, give a calendar so that you won't forget it, and uh, and I hope everyone here has already filled the form and at least once, and the recording will be shortly available in our YouTube channel. Mhm. Thank you.